I'll make a video because I'm sitting here arguing with myself. It's a big, most everything's red today, okay, for crypto now and the stock market too. If I go to my watch list, all this is in my wife's port. Now, the Dixie, that's the dollar index, but you got Pfizer's down, you got OHI's down, Dow Chemicals, Walgreen Boots. Walgreen Boots broke a key level of support today, closed below it, just barely. Ideally, I'd like to see 2 bars below that. You're getting deep on a 5 count, days down, so this could go down another 4 days. As long as you hold this, whatever it is, 2014, I guess. Now you could come back to this 1919, but that's your next levels of support weekly. And this goes way back, like back in time, before 2008, 2009 levels. I can show you on a chart, but if I get back that far. Way over here, you got the bottom right here at 1998 levels. Holy cow. Yeah, March of 98. That's where Walgreens is at right now. You don't think we're in pre-recession territory? I'm sorry, Uncle Larry, but I got to throw the bullshit flag on that. Pardon my language, but we're going to do PG13 on this one because you got to job brief yourself, okay? You're a hedge fund manager, whether you want to be or not. You may not be a very good one, but if you have a portfolio or you have a 401k or you have, even if you just got a little small Robinhood account with 3 cryptos in it, you're a portfolio manager. Now, it depends on how much, risk tolerance you have, but it's all risk, and, we're just trying to manage it. That's all we're trying to do. Now, my silver trade crushed it today. Now, it did sell off, looks like. That's weekly, but, yeah, daily did too. It gapped up and then sold off. So, that's a little bit of weakness. I'm actually trying to dip by this thing. I think you throw a Fibonacci on this thing off the 1 bar on a 4-hour chart. I'm hoping to get this 2209. I don't know if you'll get it. That's a little below the trend line, so probably you might want to raise it up 22, 23, in my opinion, if you're trying to get in. And I'm trying to get in on silver futures. I need to move my Fibonacci. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Go back to my weekly. And we need to draw a trend line on this thing. Little tip and a trick here. If you put your magnet thing on strong magnet, it helps you draw your trend lines. It automatically goes to the top of the candlestick. Now, if you're trying to set a trend line or something, a horizontal trend line, you don't want it there. Sometimes you got to turn it off, but it's really handy. I like this ray. I started using this ray because in that way you don't have to keep extending your trend line out. It just draws it and it extends it to eternity, I guess. I don't know how far it goes out. But, so right there, okay. There's your weekly trend line. As long as you want to stay above that, I could turn that a different color so I can, because I get a little confused sometimes. Let's make that red. How about that? Okay, so go to the 4-hour. Looks like you need to hold that on silver. Now, you could bounce right off this 24,385. That's a major support zone. I think that's off a daily level. Coming off the previous 9 count, I think. I probably should have labeled that, but I got a bid in right around there. It could dip to the 24,275, but with this much strength behind it, I kind of get a feeling you may only get a 382 Fibonacci pullback. So 24.43, maybe 24.385. That's where I'm thinking. But anyway, let's get on to crypto. So I looked at my portfolio today. You know, it's down probably $1,000 today. You know, over the course of the last, 9, 10, 11 weeks, we're still up. You know, nothing's, you know, we're not going to have to file bankruptcy anytime soon. We still got the day job, you know. Still got my portfolio money. I still got a good kidney I can sell, you know. I got an unvaccinated testicle I can sell. If anybody's interested, I'll sell it to you for, I don't know, how about $1 million? I'll let go of the left one. I ain't gonna let go of the right one, but I will let go of the left one. Okay. Now we're not gonna do it old ranch style. We need, you know, I need to go to a hospital facility and surgically remove with some anesthesia. Okay. Now, I know you old cowboys out there got your case pocket knife over there on a wet rock. We're not playing that game, but okay, man, I'm getting on the Alex Becker rant over here, but so I looked at Gala. It wasn't Gala. It was Ultra UOS. You pull it up on a daily. It's losing my all my moving averages. I even moved that to a 21. Larry says using 18, but he mostly trades commodities and stocks. So most commodities are traded 6 days a week on most stuff. So I don't know. I've heard 21-day moving average works good on crypto because it is traded 24/7. So 7 days a week times 3. I think that's where you get your 21 daily moving average. That tends to work pretty good for most of crypto. It works on different time frames too, seems like, but for crypto that just seems to be. I haven't tested the 18-day, but Larry has, and he on stocks and commodities. Larry says the 18-day is works about the best for long term, or at least mediocre long term. It's you know, if you lose that 18-day moving average, ideally he wants it to close below it 2 days below it. If you can sit on your hands for another day, I went ahead and put in a sell order a while ago, because about 5 minutes ago, because I don't like the way Ultra looks. If you have access to Larry's will stop indicator, that's will trend, but dadgummit. Load the will stop and cancel the will trend. I might have to save this. I keep putting that darn will. I mean, will trend, will stop's pretty close. It's a little off, but and I got to change the color again. Give me my darn chingadar here. Okay, let's go this guy. Apply it. And then I need to save that to the Ponch. Oh, Poncharelli. To the Poncharelli. Okay. So yeah, this thing lost this will stop way over here. You know, it lost it on November 14th. The will trend, it lost it on November 12th. It closed below it. You're also closing below your Ichimoku, your base, and your whatever they call these, your conversion line and your baseline. Those are pretty solid moving averages. I think they're based on a 26 and a 9 probably moving average. It could be exponential, could be simple. I don't really know. I don't really care. For the purposes here, I don't like the way this is set up. You know, from what I've learned, Larry has taught me, if you get below this thing, most time you want to get out, especially if you're closing below multiple moving averages and Now you got support down here at 18 cents, 18.06 or 0.1806. You got support there. I just don't like the way Bitcoin looks. I don't like the way 90% of most altcoins look right now. They're extremely overbought. I don't think it's a bad idea. Take some profit. Now, if you're in VRA, you're still above it. Unibot, you're still above it. TRX, still above the will stop. STG, it's above it. Solana, that's getting close. Solana had a daily sell signal. I don't know why this is not printing on here. Watch your eyes. I'm gonna hit the refresh. Gonna blind everybody. I know these crypto people like the dark screen, so don't be hating on me. Don't be hating. This is Coinbase. Why are we looking at Coinbase? You need to be looking at probably Binance, but in my opinion, Coinbase doesn't have enough volume. I don't think. Now, with CZ's stuff, who knows? I mean, you did get a 13 over here on Solana on November 15th. On a weekly basis, this thing went off November 20th, the week last week. This thing get a sell perfection that just went off on this 9 bar the week of November 20th. And so far, we're down 5.25%. I would anticipate this to probably pull back, probably bounce somewhere around this 43.97, maybe 43.95, 40.50. There's 40.5. You've also got your pinch punch here on Solana. It's a 56. Now, ideally, you want to see that above a 60. But Larry also says once you get this technically above a 40, 45, you can be indicating a reversal of a trend in the near future. It's not a timing tool, but it's a warning tool that pretty much works a very high percentage of the time. Okay, let's just put it that way. Your daily on SNX, you've lost the will trend on this. That's a sell signal. SNX, SLV, this is silver, but you're definitely above this. Probably should have bought it over here on November 15th. I guess I'm gonna have to start setting up alerts on TradingView on this or something. I don't know. I can't really set up alerts on Symbolic. I don't know. Shiba, that's a sell signal. If anybody's got some Shiba. This is short term. Short term. Now, you go to a weekly chart. That's not terrible. I mean, yeah, you hit this, whatever. You went up 3 weeks and then pulled back. So you got a nice little rally off of it, off this 9 count. Made 12.5. You made 10%. Week 3, but after November 6th, the week of November 6th, it's sold off ever since. So S Fund, it's on a 9, perfect sell signal. Sell setup, perfection. It's already down 13.7% for the week. I would almost bet it's below the will stop. No, it's not actually. Okay. So that could still pull back to $1.94, $1.95. But if you close below that, I mean, you're already sitting on a 9. So this is where I argue with Larry. I mean, I'm not going to argue with him because the man's got almost 61 years experience, but I argue with myself, I guess, because I've seen TD sequential work a very high percentage of the time. I mean, Tom DeMark, the man that created this, has a video on YouTube that says its title is trading the nines. Okay? So I know this has major significance, especially if you have a 13 anywhere near and you need it in close proximity. But ideally, you'd want to see. Now, he said his bread and butter trade is to wait for a 9, and then you get the 13, and then you get another 9. Most time he would bet on a trend reversal, especially you got a Williams pinch punch above what, 60, 69 right there. Yeah. You hit a high here of 90 on a daily. Woo, yeah, that was screaming pullback. But where'd that thing go off? Let me see where it topped out. Yeah, it missed it by 1 bar on the top. But I mean, once you get above 60, you got to be looking for any kind of, probably a 4-hour, correction. You could go 8-hour, 12-hour, but you got to be finger on the sell button. Or, he could have used his target tool if you have access to it. Propulsion gives you targets. 2.45 was a nice target. It hit it perfectly right here on 26th. Could have took profit on that, but this is all short term. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I have no doubt crypto's gonna explode. I think it will go up when the ETF news gets reported. I wouldn't put it past the commercials or the hedge funds to sell the news. They love doing that to the public. You sucker the public in, you drop the news event, and then the big money bails out, and the public's left holding the bag. They do that, I don't know what percent, at least probably 90%. It's a proven fact. 90% of most people lose money every single year that try to trade or short-term trade, at least short-term traders. Day traders, dang sure going to lose their money. Short-term traders, probably at least 75, 80% lose money every single year, and that's why. Because the hedge funds and the commercial money, they're the smart money. They got, it's a golden rule. Whoever's got the most gold makes the rules. I mean, it's their casino. They make the rules. We're just along for the ride. We're just lucky we get to play this game. I mean, we're just fortunate to be even able to play this, I guess. A lot of stuff, like Sandbox, it's on a 7 weekly. You're getting deep in the count. I really don't like buying stuff past a 6. I don't like really buying it past a 3, to be honest with you. Ideally, you need to be in the first 1 or 2 weeks. If you could have timed it off this 9 bar, that's a home run. I mean, September 18th this thing was screaming buy. I don't know what percent that is, but it's it was a pretty good run for most things. I mean, this thing went off of June 12th. Perfect 913 on Ruin. Oh man. I was in Ruidoso, New Mexico, celebrating my anniversary with my wife, and I was on a 15-minute chart all weekend. Had no clue about this setup. This thing is screaming. Here again, you got a pinch punch above 40 on a weekly chart with a 913 and a buy perfection. Whew, oh, man, you don't get. And this is Williams stochastic. If you have access to this, you can get access to his indicators on Symbolic. You got to subscribe. It's like $45 a month. I hate paying it, but if you're going to be in the game, I think you need the best tools that you can possibly get. So that's my opinion. But let's look at Ruin on a daily. Here again, you hit your 9 count, or November 17th, 13 count, screaming pullback. You got it. Right at, I mean, the very next day, you lost 10%, 10.5% in one day. Now, it little rally, but you're on a 2 down count. I would anticipate this at least a complete, possibly a 9 count down. You could lose the wheel trend or the wheel stop. I would bet you might get this 3.29 support zone right in here somewhere. You got this moving average 2 also right in that zone, right around 3.28, 3.29. Could come down, test the top of the cloud around 3.07. That's a possibility also. I think it's strong. I mean, it's like everything else. It's getting stretched. It needs a small correction. Nearly everything does, just to have a healthy chart. It needs a small correction. At least test this 4.34, on ruin. I don't see any problem. If you're not in it, I don't see any problem throwing a bid in right around in there, maybe even 3.73. It's all gambling. It's all educated gambling. That's all it is. Rose, render. Let's go to render. You're on a 9+ here. Sell perfection. November 6th. Now, you did break out. You broke out and made a new high even above this 9 count over here. I would anticipate this to be a support zone. Looks like it has. It's held perfect support right here. So I like that. I like that as a support. Now, if you lose that, if you lose this 3.02 level on render, we could have some problems. That's my whole thing is, and I'm struggling with this, I want to hold stuff long term. That was my initial game plan, was to try to buy in anywhere near the bottom. I mean, you can miss it by 6 months and you're still going to look like a hero 2 years from now. If you hold this for at least a year to 2 years, I have no doubt, most likely you will, you could make you a millionaire. I don't know, a multimillionaire. I don't know. It just depends on how much money gets behind this stuff. I don't see any Wall Street has a lot of witty sayings that make sense when you hear them. Like, nobody's ever went broke from taking profits. Okay, well, that's true, but most likely nobody ever became a multimillionaire either. Okay, nobody ever turned $35,000 into $38 million in 3 years. Most likely by trading, even on a weekly basis. I don't know of anybody that has. I know Larry Williams turned 10,000 into 1.1. He actually turned it into 2 million in 10 months trading commodities with his strategy. But that's a little different. That's a whole different game. That's like comparing apples to oranges or apples to fish. I mean, it's not even in the same food group, So that's what I'm struggling with, and I'm sure a lot of people are also. Do we take profit or do you ride this out? So what I came up pull pull up your, we'll pull Doge, for example, on a daily chart. You know, and most people don't have access to that, so I'm gonna just pull it up on Doge USDT. I like the Binance because I think you have a higher volume of trading on Binance. Yeah, I don't know. Would you go off a weekly? You're on a 7 already, so I know human nature, the greed factor kicks in, and you want this thing to just go to the moon. You want it to just keep running. But reality is, this is probably going to do a Fibonacci retracement at some point. This thing is not going to run to the moon forever. Okay, you've already started correcting. I would anticipate at least maybe around the 7-cent zone. I'd even throw in a trend line on it, and probably, you know, it might not even hurt to say, 0.618. Because a lot of times I'll delete stuff weekly. Okay, that way you got it. So now, you know, you can delete that, and it's still there, you know, and you know what it is, you know how you got it. It's just good paperwork, you know. It's good bookkeeping, or whatever you want to call it. Just saves you time, saves you wondering how you got this trend line, or where you know, and it comes right over here too, right against resistance, became support, most likely. It's below your, I think that's 20. I changed that to 21. I changed it to 21, yeah. It's below your 21 weekly moving average, right around your 9. You're losing your 4-week already. To me, that's a problem. Your elder bar is turning yellow. That's a caution flag. It's not a red flag yet, but it is. Usually red comes next. I mean, it didn't right here, but you went from green to red in 1 week. So, I mean, that's a bad example, but I mean, Doge trades pretty erratic anyway. So, I don't know. I'd say if you lose the 21 on a daily chart, I don't see a problem with at least selling half, you know. I really don't want to be completely out. You know, I really don't want to sell it all, because if the ETF news gets announced tomorrow, this thing could rally right back, and we could be back on cloud 9, you know, for maybe another 9 days, or it could go up another 9 weeks for all I know. I don't know. This could be the start of the bull run that most people have already missed. You know, the easy money was buying around September, the week after September 20, really, was the easy money. I bought in a week early. You know, I got in around that September 18th, September 15th area, because I just didn't want to miss. If it ran the next week, I just didn't. Had a little FOMO, got a little case of FOMO. I should have waited one more week, but here again, you know, like Ultra and Pyre. And another thing, what I was saying is, let me go back to Doge again. Let's see. So, you know, go to your broker, whoever you're trading with, your exchange, or whatever you want to call it. You know, pull them up. Pull up your symbol. So I'm gonna type in Doge. I'm on my cell phone. This is how not Doge King. I don't want Doge King. I want Doge USDT. On MEXC, you got to hide other pairs to see it. So I'm in at 0.08176 is my average. So I'm in at 0.08. So Yeah, I'm underwater a little bit here on Doge. I don't like that. I don't like being underwater, I can tell you that. Buffett's number one rule is don't lose money. Rule number two, memorize rule number one. That's Buffett's famous quote on CNBC. I think he said it. I don't know when he said it, but now there's another one of them witty sayings. You can't tell me that Buffett hasn't lost money on a stock, okay? Or anybody that works for Mr. Buffett. You can't tell me they haven't given up some profit, because I know he's a super long-term, he's a 10-year guy, at least 5 to 10 years. He doesn't buy anything if he's not going to hold it 5 to 10 years. And that theory's worked relatively well for him. So, I mean, you don't get to be a multi-billionaire, which he didn't make all his money from stocks. He made the most of his money from buying good companies at discount prices during recessions, most likely, and trimming back the fat, cutting management, fixing problems on companies that were almost bankrupt. I watched a documentary on him. They said he loves buying companies. It's like finding a cigarette butt on the ground with just one little puff of smoke left in it, to smoke before it gets to the filter. He loves finding companies that are an example of that, where he can get just one little puff out of them, or he could do something to turn around, cut excess spending and or fix some kind of problem. Or he has bought some companies and just sold them off. He'll just sell the assets. He'll sell all the machinery and the land and the building, and kind of like scrapping out a wrecked, totaled out vehicle. You put it in a salvage or junkyard, and slowly sell all the pieces, which he sells it quickly. But he made a lot of his money that way. If you research, if you dig into him, I'm getting way off on left field here, but so that's why I'm looking at Doge. Like for now, I'm underwater on Doge. Okay, so all right. Well, let's take a look at the stochastic. Here again, you got a job brief with yourself. There's nobody else going to do it with you or for you. So you got to do it yourself. You got to rationalize this stuff. And I'm preaching to myself here too. Because, you work all night. You maybe got a night job, or maybe you're tired on the weekend. You got 9 different things, The wife wants to go to Big Lots, or, go get Christmas lights, or, maybe go to the Container Store on a Saturday, or go to Home Depot or Lowe's, or, no, I'd rather get a root canal than go anywhere on a weekend, especially during holiday season. No, you just don't do that. Hang on, let me get a drink of coffee here. I know my throat's a little parched, I guess, from working all night. I probably drank about 9 Monster energy drinks last night, but trying to get across the road. Okay, so Doge, you're underwater. Stochastic was coming up, but now you're losing momentum. RSI is weak. Your Williams percentage is coming down. Your histogram is at the Q mod. Your Q mod hasn't went negative yet, but it's pretty close. It's what you call no man's land here. You don't have a histogram bar at all right here. You're right here on this day, 27th. So you're at the 0 line. So this could go either way. This could break to the downside, or it could break to the upside. So, in my opinion, usually once it breaks to the downside, you're going to come down for a while on this histogram. That's what I like about this Q mod. Is your stochastic is, I don't know, man. It's erratic. It's too fast, in my opinion. If you get a move, you're up here oversold, and you're not even 4 days into the rally. What is that? you can't make money using that. I'm sorry, but that's a shitty indicator. Okay, you can't, I know Sheldon loves it, but that's dog shit. Okay, pardon my French, but okay, it timed it decent. I mean, over here, you're oversold on day 2 of this rally. No. I mean, I guess you can wait for the crossover. All right, you got the crossover here on day 4. Okay, you still got 2 more good days out of this. Then it went sideways. Then it went up some more. I mean, how do you trade with this? I don't get it. I mean, you can trade with it. I'm not saying you can't, but it's a horrible timing tool, in my opinion, as I've tried it. I've set infinite amount of buy and sell signals with it, and I'm about to go through and delete 90% of them because I got 390 alerts. That's why my phone's always on vibrate, because if I don't, that thing is blowing up 24/7. You can't get no sleep. You can't get any sleep. I guess that's bad grammar. My high school English teacher smacked me on the back of the head talking like that. But so let's go to Pyre. Let's go to Pyre over here, man. So if you go to Pyre on symbolic, it's above the will stop. The price action's above the will stop. So for now, that's still, you want to hold that. You don't want to sell it until it closes below this, ideally. If you don't have will stop, the Ichimoku line's pretty close. Your baseline is 564. The will stop's 550. Okay, well, it could keep you in the trade where the Ichimoku might not. I have no idea how this is calculated. I think it's based on a 3-day trailing moving average, I think. But, if you put a simple moving average on it, you're nowhere near this price zone, so that doesn't work. Who knows? It could be based off a 9 count. It could be at 18. It could be a 27. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. Is as long as everything's above this will stop, I'm gonna stay in it on a daily basis. It's a daily basis. Now you could lose this. Now you look at most of these, they're getting deep in the count. They're on a 6 or 7 week up. So a lot of things getting stretched. You've had a nice rally on nearly everything. There's nothing wrong with taking half off the table. I don't think. But let's measure this move right here. To the top, you got 167% on your money. You've over doubled your money in 6 weeks. That's pretty good in any profession, any gambling, whatever you want to compare it to. That's a home run. That is a home run. I know we don't feel like we're successful yet because a lot of us are only trying to claw our way back into profits from this last colossal country butt whooping that we got in the last 2 years or year and a half in the bear market. So I get it. You don't feel like a winner yet. And you look at the previous highs, and you come over here, and this thing had a high of $50, per coin. So I have no doubt during the extreme bull market, we'll probably make new highs. If this thing actually has a decent game. Now Vulcan Forge, I don't know, man. I've started testing some of these games out. to be honest with you, I'm kind of like Rand on this. There's not a lot of fun crypto games that are playable, accessible. You can play them on a Mac or at least a Bill Gates Android device or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, that's my thing is, do they have an actual playable game that's fun? I know they have a lot of games. I mean, you can go to what is it? Coin Market Cap. And search it. This is what I was doing. I was playing this one called Grit. It's a Gala game. I can pull it up here in a little while, but go to their website, pull up, search them on Mexi. I like going through Coin Market Cap. That way I know most likely you got a safe website, because there's a lot of fraudsters out there that fake this website, and then they might change like one letter here. They might put a S in here or a D or two D's or whatever. It could be .io instead of .com or .org or whatever, .eth. So, you go to Vulcan Studios. Okay, the Web3 gaming made easy. All right, I get it. Download and play on a PC. Well, I want to say they're not even available. Maybe they are on a MacBook. It looks like it's downloading it, but I don't know if it's playable. Okay, yeah, they got it on the App Store. All right, I'll give them that. Maybe not a lot of kid-friendly type stuff. I don't know what this tower defense is. Looks kind of lame, but Vulcan Runner, Vulcan. So a lot of these are card games. I'm sorry, but I don't get the card games, bro. I don't get it. It's like I want to shoot something or blow something up or a game that is actually fun, and somewhat beatable, so you actually feel like a winner when you get to the next level. You need levels. You need different levels to kind of give you a little mental break, too. But in my opinion, I'm not a gaming expert, so whatever. You can get this stuff. You can download it, I guess, and you can launch it and play it. That's what I'd recommend. Play it on a PC. You can play it on an iPhone, I guess, or Android devices. That's good. At least they're that far. Like I went to Super's, Elio's website the other day. He doesn't even have a game. Superverse. Everybody's going ape shit over this, thinking it's going to be the next Axie Infinity. I'm sorry, but you don't even have a game, bro. Superverse DAO. Okay, well, you got this imposter thing. Crap, my dog's gonna puke on the rug over there. What are you puking up, bro? Come on, get outside before you puke all over my house, bro. What the hell did you eat? A little shit stain. Damn it. Now I gotta clean his vomit up. That's great, asshole. What you been eating? Get your ass outside and throw up on the grass. Anyway, yeah, that's a great video. This is real life shit we're dealing with here, people. This is what you got to deal with when you're a portfolio manager at your working a day job or a night job, and dealing with the dog, the kids, the wife, the husband, the mailman, the UPS man, I mean, the imposter thing did look cool. If you want to play that, click that. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but so I'm not going to play it. But it looks interesting, but it's not playable yet. Gala, same way. Everybody's having a circle jerk over Gala, thinking it's going to be the next whatever. I mean, you got this chicken game, Get Plucked. I mean, it's a catchy name, I'll give you that. I tried the spider tanks. It was a pain in the ass. I couldn't, even on a laptop. Maybe it'd be different if you had a game controller, playing with an NVIDIA gaming device or Android device or maybe a Sony, whatever. You can play it for free. I'll give you that. But most of them, if you're just looking for a game to kill time and have some fun with and not invest a bunch of money in armor and swords and bazookas and, knives and whatever it is, this really isn't what you want to play. I played this game. It's another version of whatever, but now they do have the music, the gala. They are doing the film. They're getting. This looks like that old Santa Claus movie back in 1984. Here, I don't know what they're doing with this, but they need to get old Disney's 3D animation going. Back to Spider Tank. So, like I said, now that I'm gonna try to do a video on the Grit game. It's only playable on a Windows computer, which is kind of lame, for now. I don't even think you can play it on a phone at all, but it was pretty cool, though. I mean, I have to admit, there's probably some videos on YouTube if you want to, look up Grit review. We could search it on YouTube, I guess, let's pull up Grit review. Yeah, you got trains. You can hop on a train. You got Battle Royale. Let me turn my sound off so I don't get a. What I ran across was, and yeah, it's cool. You can hop on a horse. You can have fun. You can shoot people. You're scavenger hunt for like guns and ammo and knives and some dynamite. You go through these old Wild West towns, which is cool. I mean, it's a cool metaverse. I mean, they got awesome, towns and graphics. The horse and everything is relatively realistic. See, I didn't run across any people. I ran across one other person while I was playing this game, and that's pretty lame, I mean, that's boring. In my opinion, I thought it was going to be like this version here, and you could probably invite friends or whatever, family members or whatever, to play with you. What I ran into, me and one other guy had a shootout or a knife fight for like 30 minutes. He couldn't kill me. I couldn't kill him. I guess we both had body armor back in the Wild West. And I was like, dude, who's got body armor in the 1800s, bro? That's, whatever. But maybe I'm a little over analytical. He's throwing dynamite. He's got grenades. He's got a Tommy gun over here in the 1800s. Like, come on, dude. You need to mow that grass, that's for sure. I mean, come on. What are you doing over here? I mean, see, I didn't have any of this. I didn't see any of these people when I played the game. It was not near that cool, I mean, I ran across one person And I played the game for probably 45 minutes to an hour. I probably rode that stupid horse for 60 miles. And I mean, you know, most horses are going to collapse after 20 miles of running that hard. But so that's not very realistic. I mean, you at least need, you know, the horse to trip in a hole, break a leg or something, you know, something realistic back in the old West days, the Wild West days, you know. But no rattlesnakes. I mean, really? No rattlesnakes, no coyotes, no jackrabbits, no scorpions. Obviously, you're in the desert. You're in the high desert here. You know, you got cacti. You got cacti. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting on a rant again, but you know, they definitely got some improving to do. Maybe it's, you know, early, just getting started stages. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a little impatient, I guess. You know, I mean, why launch a game though if it's not ready to play? It looks like you got some kind of card-based thing going on too here. You got a royal flush thing going with your ace, king, jack, queen. What are we doing? Are we playing Texas Hold'em or something, or what? What are we doing here? I mean, you got a shotgun. I don't get that. Whatever. That's my opinion. If you want a game that's pretty fun, I'd search Hello. The Hello coin. Me and my daughter, like I say, we love this game. We have like zombie dash tournaments. You know, go to their website, look it up, go to the arcade, and you can play this stuff for free. You got Dash of the Dead. You know, I've done it. We did a review on it. Me and my daughter played the game. We need to make another. You click the guess button. Let me go back. Did I get to that? Yeah. Yeah, if you click the guess button, you can literally play for free as much as you want. Use your arrows on your computer to go left, right, or the up arrow jumps. It'll jump over stuff. I won't play the audio, but I mean you can jump. My daughter likes hitting all the buttons at once. It makes it shake its butt in the air or something like that. You know, I mean, it tells you how to play. Your down arrow doesn't do anything, but so you're constantly collecting these little Hello coins. You know, you got zombies coming at you. You got cars you got to navigate. You got I mean, it's it just looks like a zombie apocalypse. You got grass growing in the middle of the street here. You know, I mean, it looks kind of like New Mexico, but post COVID, or post C word. Get on the buses, take a little ride. You know, that's fun. Get some coins. I think the highest I've ever got is like 14,000 coins or something. You know, but it gives you a score. The further you go, the faster it goes too. So it gets harder. You don't technically have levels, to get through, but so the further you go without dying, it gets faster and faster and harder and harder. But this is a fun game. I mean, even for kids. I mean, my daughter's 5 years old, and she loves it. It's got a little catchy little song. I won't play the song because I don't want a copyright strike. But man, it's just fun. I mean, it's frustrating when you lose, like any other game. It's addictive. I will say that it's very addictive. Because when you lose, you want to play it again. You're like, man, I want to see if I can, beat my high score. I want to see if I can, get a little better. And I'm not even a big gaming kind of guy. I used to play Pac-Man and whatever Atari, when I was a kid. But I never got into the gaming. I never got into Fortnite or any of the popular games in the last 10, 20, 30, I don't know, I'm telling my age, but, at least 30, 40 years, Anyway, I'm going to put some money in this. I mean, I'm going to buy at least $1,000 worth of this Hello. The Hello coin is their coin, their currency. So, and they're doing other stuff too. So you run into something. He's got good graphics, and if you have your own NFT, you can you can add your wallet and you can play in the game. But I've got a bid on it. I mean, I've already got 1,000 coins of this, but you know, it's up a ton from the bottom. I mean, it's up from the low. I measured it the other day. It's up quite a bit. It went up 494% from the low in June of 23. So yeah, that's a big move, but it's already on a weekly 9. I'm anticipating this to pull back at least to this 10.106. Might pull back to the 0.085 level, somewhere in here. Could even pull back to the 0.06. I mean, it just depends on how popular this game is. I don't know how many people are playing it. I don't know how many users they have, but I've heard Hustle talk about it on his show in the game. I think this S fund will be popular, but like I say, it's on a weekly 9 also. If you come over here and pull up weekly sell signals on the 9 perfection weekly sell on Symbolic, this is my scan that I pretty much would bet my daughter's college tuition on. I would bet a large amount of money on this indicator. Now on the sell side, does it mean I'm going to go out and short Cardano? No, I'm not going to short anything in this market with heavy participation from the commercials, and I can show you that on Symbolic. It's a pain in the butt to have a Windows computer to pull this crap up on commodities or futures, but so you go to CME, you go to Bitcoin futures, continuous. This is how you pull up weekly. Okay, let's make it a big screen TV. I don't like the big screen. All right, let's come over here. So see, this is your commercial index, your Williams COT, Commitment of Trader Index is what this is called. Technically, he abbreviates COT. So this is your commercial money. This is measuring the big money, and as long as this is above this 74, that's saying the big money is heavily buying Bitcoin. So for now, they're not. I mean, they sold off a little bit from the previous week. Not a lot. If we want to look it up, we can look it up exactly. I mean, but the indicator, you got to log in now. That's a bunch of baloney. Why you do that? That's a bunch. I'm going to show my darn, I don't even know what my password is, to be honest with you. Crap. Well, we won't do it here, I guess. Anyway, just gave 1 million people my password, I guess. I wish I had 1 million subscribers, but I wouldn't even my day job if I had 1 million subscribers, probably. Maybe one of these days, but I got to be right. You know, you got to be able to make people money, or they're not going to follow you. They're not going to like. They're not going to subscribe. I will say one other thing I didn't clarify on the last video. This 1 bar price bar flip scan. That's a short-term trade setup. Okay, now it could be long-term. It could be 6 to 9 days of up action. Most likely it's not. Unibot just popped up. Well, it didn't have anything up until just here recently, but let's see, daily. Man, I hate when this thing doesn't. Let me see if I can reset default. There we go. All right, so you got a 1 bar price bar flip, so that's your first candlestick that's going up off of a downtrend. So you hit your 13. That was a decent time to buy. I mean, it kind of went sideways 4 or 5 days. Went down a little bit more, hit your support zone here at 39.60. Would have been a really nice place to have a standing bid. I'm already in this thing, full disclosure, so and it has to close the end of the day, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. You're right at your 5 o'clock hour right now, so one more hour. If this will close strong, relatively strong. I mean, that, you could get your up count. Could go up 8 or 9 days, 6, whatever. Now, weekly, I want to say this thing's getting spread a little thin also on a weekly. Come on, symbolic. What are you doing, sir? No, sir. Give me this. Let me see if this will work. There we go. All right, so you're on a 3-week down. Now, there's been multiple weeks down, but you couldn't even get data on this. You still can't really, but so I mean, this could go down another 6 weeks easily. There's no guarantee this is going to bounce just because it's on a 13 daily. Does not say it has to bounce here, but I mean, it's a good support zone. I'll give you that. You're above the will stop. Technically, that's a buy signal. Once you got above it, you closed above it right here on November 7th. It's sold off since then, but if you'll stay in it, hold it. You got to hold strong. You got to hold your conviction. Ideally, you want a weekly setup first. Okay, so you want your 9 count weekly on a weekly chart. Then you go to your daily, and hopefully you get this break above. Like you take silver. Silver was an ideal setup. I think it had a weekly. Did it have a weekly? I may have just lied to you. I don't know. Get back over there, would ya? I don't know what this was, but I know gold's setting up. It could be on a... Let's go over here. I can find it better over here. And this free version of TD Sequential is not showing a weekly setup, but what's a good ending? What's something to show you? Like wheat.
I want to make bank, bro.
Yeah. Okay. 5 o'clock. Let's go to wheat. I know wheat had a perfect 9 count weekly setup. Right there. There's your 9 count, 9 bar. Now you did sell off, but you also rallied off of that. Your very next candle, you made almost 5%. Now that was 5 or 6 days. You had to hold it. It went up some more. So if you held this 3 weeks, say you bought in off your 9 over here. Say you bought in Friday afternoon at the end of the business day. You made a little over 11, almost 12% in 3 weeks. I mean, that's not bad. Especially on commodities, you're using leverage, you're using borrowed money margin to trade with. This is almost like trading crypto on leverage or margin, because you're making a pretty sizable bet here. When you buy 1 contract of wheat, I don't know how many bushels is in a contract of wheat. We can Google it. How many bushels are in 1 contract of wheat? 5,000 bushels. I think that's 2,000 pounds per bushel. So, yeah, that's a lot of wheat. You better you better know what you're doing. It's like options. If these expire, if you buy a contract and it expires, say you buy a November contract of wheat and you let that thing expire, past November 30th, and you don't roll it forward to the next month, you take ownership of whatever that is, 10,000 or 1,000,000 pounds of wheat. I'm not very good at math, but that's a lot of wheat. Like me, I bought 40,000 pounds of cattle by accident. The first trade I ever did, live trade with real money on livestock, live cattle. It's on a 9-week down. Also, I like live cattle at these prices. I like this setup, and the commercial money is heavily buying live cattle. I do know that for a fact. If you go over here to pull live cattle, let's go to LE-1. Yeah, hasn't updated the data yet, but on a weekly, you can see your commercial money is at a 96.88. Anything above 74, they've been dollar cost averaging since October 1st. Probably started dollar cost, right here even, but they started buying really September 17th, the week of September 17th. They started dollar cost averaging. So right here, that was on your 6-bar at your top. So that's what they do. They dollar cost average every week. They're buying in, and that's how they time the bottom. And they're not going to time it perfect, but by the time they get dollar cost average on the 9-week down here, if it bounces off of this, 171 zone, their average, probably somewhere around this, 177. They got a small, retrace, and they're in the money. They're making money right away. It works for them, I guess. So it's not a bad way to trade if you can be disciplined enough to, divide your money. Say you want to bet $5,000. Most people just go all in on the first bid price. I've learned, break that into about at least 2 to 3 different bid levels. Ideally, you want to do like 4 or 5. Buy in 1,000 at a time over 5 different buy-in prices, and then you dollar cost average all the way down. Hopefully, you're timing it, off a 9 count or something like that. You could buy in off a 7, 8, 9, or maybe start on your 5. Daily or weekly, whatever time frame you're doing, but that seems to work pretty good. I know the hedge funds do it, the commercial money does it, so there's got to be a reason they do it. Obviously, if they've still stayed in business this long doing it, I think if you follow the smart money, what I've always heard, if you follow the smart money, most time you can't go wrong. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's. So I don't want to ramble too much on this, and get too deep in the, technical indicators and stuff, but. I'll go ahead and cut this video short, but just top it all off. I think as long as you throw a Fibonacci on a daily or weekly basis, and if where you bought it is below the Fibonacci level, I got way out in left field here. There again, Ultra is a good example on a weekly basis. You might be able to snag this somewhere between the 18 to 15 cent zone, or at least 16 cents. That's only 2 pennies, but I mean you can buy a lot of coins, with $5,000 or whatever, or 2,500 or whatever you're betting with. So that it does add up pretty quick when you're buying. Close to 1 million coins or something, or at least, over 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. I don't remember exactly how many coins of this I had, but I'm trying to sell it right now because I just don't like the way it looks right now on a daily chart. I really don't like the way it looks on a weekly chart either. It's after you hit this 9 count, it's gonna sell off, and it's already doing it. You're already down 7% this week, and it's only Monday. So I mean, I know it's early. You could still rally, but most likely this is going to pull back at least 3 to 4 bars. Now, your 9 count did close above your 6. That's a TD sequential rule. It made a higher high. Technically, it was a tweezer top, double top off your 7 bar. Made a higher high than an 8. I probably should have took profit up here at this 22.4 cents or whatever, but I didn't do it. I got greedy again, But I'm getting out before this thing rolls over. I'm probably going to throw in a bid around this 0.618, this 16. I might roll that up to 16.7 cents. I mean, I guess you don't put another decimal on a cent zone, but that's the way I call it. 16.167. Let's call it that. I probably kind of average up, because you do have this 21 moving average right here, weekly 21 week moving average right there also. That should hold as support, any kind of strength. I mean, you got your upward trend line. As long as it doesn't break this trend line, technically there's no reason to sell it. You're still in an uptrend. You're extremely overbought. Your momentum is rolling over on nearly everything. You haven't went negative on your weekly histogram yet, but by the time you do that, you probably gave up 20-30% of your profit, from the top. I mean, well, let's just roll it. Let's just put let's put a price on it. Why speculate? Let's tell exactly. By the time you got your first down bar was right here. You gave up 51% of your profit right there. Anybody want to sign up for that program? You want to donate 51% of your money to any charity, even in the world? I mean, most people I know don't even want to do that to a charity event that would help, humanity. I mean, you dang sure don't want to give it to your broker or your exchange you're using. So, no, I'm out. That kills me to give up that kind of profit. And which I would have got out sooner than that. I probably would have got out over here, hopefully, theoretically. You close. I think you close below a 4-week moving average, simple moving average. You might as well cut your losses. Take profit, sell half at least, lock in the profit. Then you can't lose money on that trade if you sell half, unless your second half you let that go below where you bought it. So say you bought it over here at 22 cents and you let it go below that, then you're underwater on your second half of your trade, your 50% that you're still holding. But I think you lose a 4-week moving average. That's good enough for me. I'm getting out. And right now, that's where we're at on Ultra. So that's why I'm getting out. Because I hate giving up profit. It kills me to give up profits. I guess I've day traded too much. I've just got that short-term mentality. But and it's probably this last bear market too. I saw too many winners turn into losers, sitting there holding them, hoping that was the bottom, and we were about to start a bull market. And I don't know how many times I've heard hope is not a very good tactic for any kind of business model. I mean, especially in trading. If you're hoping and praying something is going to bounce or keep going up, that's probably a decent time to sell. When you feel yourself getting greedy and you start reanalyzing and raising your price targets, and most time it's a decent time to take profit. TD sequential, I think you can set your watch by it. I mean, if you get this 9 count on a weekly chart, I think you got to take that. At least sell half. You don't have to cash out and sell the farm, and the one-eyed mule and everything. But why not take a little profit off the table? I mean, I get the point. You can't buy it. Most time you can't buy it back where you bought it originally. If you bought it over here on September 4th or whenever, yeah, I mean, you got in at 12 cents. So now you sell up here at 18, you're having to buy back at 16 cents, where you're still paying 4 cents more than what you originally bought in for, which most people probably didn't get in over here. I can't remember my original entry on this. I got in, I think, around this September 18th, maybe the 25th, somewhere in this zone. I made some money on it. I sold way too soon. I only held it, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks, and got out, made a profit. But then week 4 or 5, it blew up, and man, I could have made a killing. What is that? Off the bottom, if you bought anywhere close to the bottom to the top, that's an 83% move. That's what, 9, 10, 11 weeks. So that's my opinion. It's not financial advice. None of this financial advice. Educational purposes only. I may have just confused everybody more than I helped, but that's what I'm struggling with, and what some kind of game plan that I'm leaning towards. Gary, about the only thing in my portfolio in silver going up today, man. I took a beating today. This thing was rough, and Gary's on an 8. Technically, he probably should have took some profit off of that, but now weekly, it's just getting started again. It's on a 3. So, I mean, that could run 6 more weeks. Could come back up here and test this 5 cent zone. I'm hoping that's what it does. I can't guarantee it, but I mean, you're in an uptrend. Your uptrend line, as long as it holds that, you're good. Now I need to put a alert on that. If we lose that, I want to get out. Get out now. You can see how much I've used that alert. That's how I set my alerts, right there. And if I got my phone on and this goes off, I'm gonna take the advice. I'm gonna take my own advice. But you gotta take profit. I should put a target probably up here. I don't know anything about this Gary coin, to be honest with you. This thing could be smoke and mirrors for all I know. Anything can go up this much and then correct that much. I mean, now it's coming back up, but probably going to come back up to this 5 cent zone. 5.5 be my guesstimation. But so we'll cut this video off, and so if you like it, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share it with all your friends and family. Maybe even put a comment. If you got something you want me to chart next time, or I really don't want to have debates or arguments over prices or opinions on YouTube or social media. But anyway, I appreciate your support, your time, and we'll catch y'all later.